Governor Newsom issued Executive Order N29-20 superseding the Brown Act related provisions of Executive Order N25-20 issued March 12, 2020, which allows local legislative body to hold public meeting via teleconferencing and to make public meetings accessible telephonically or otherwise electronically to all members of the public seeking to observe and to address the local legislative body. Pursuant to Executive Order N29-20, please be advised that the members of the Bell Gardens Education Commission will participate in meetings telephonically. The public may view the meeting online. The council chambers are closed to the public at this time.
Secretary, can you confirm that the agenda was posted?
Yes, the agenda is posted in accordance with state law.
Thank you. I now call this meeting to order at 5:05 p.m. on May 13th, 2021. Secretary, can you please do a roll call?
Chairperson Francis De Leon,
Present.
Commissioner Oscar Boado Jr.,
Present.
Commissioner Miguel Flores,
Present.
and Commissioner Cristina Paulo.
Present.
And then we did the report of posting of the agenda already. So thank you for confirming that. And then can I make somebody make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting on April 8th.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll go ahead and second that motion.
Thank you. Second, motion by Christina. We're going to move on to new business. We'll start off with department updates.
Thank you, Chairperson Sanchez. First, I'd like to announce that we did start a COVID vaccine clinics here in the city. The Recreation and Community Services Department has partnered with Pico Pharmacy to conduct weekly COVID-19 vaccination clinics in Bell Gardens. And the first round of vaccines were at Bell Gardens Veterans Park on April 27th. We administered 375 of the Moderna vaccine. In an effort to vaccinate youth 16 years and over, the clinic was moved to Bell Gardens High School on Tuesday, May 4th. And we vaccinated 594 people at Bell Gardens High School. 122 of them were students 16 to 17 years old, and they received a $5 gift card to various local restaurants like Starbucks and Jamba Juice for their efforts. Next, we moved the clinic back to Bell Gardens Park here on Wednesday, and it'll continue here weekly next week. And next week, we're prepared to vaccinate children 12 and over. And schools have been contacted. Our department is in contact with the local schools to communicate the new age for the vaccine. Next on our update is youth baseball. So staff is excited that baseball activities have resumed. We had evaluations and teams were separated. Players, parents, and coaches had a meeting. Practices began on Monday, May 3rd at Bell Gardens Veterans Park for over 130 participants.
Wow.
And games are tentatively scheduled to start the week of May 31st. And all activities will follow LA County COVID-19 guidelines and protocols. We have new recreation classes. We have 2 new outdoor fitness classes coming soon. Registration will start on Monday, May 17th, and classes will begin in June. The 2 new classes are an outdoor CrossFit class and a family time fitness class. Both classes will be conducted at Bell Gardens Veterans Park. The outdoor CrossFit will be offered Monday and Wednesday from 8 to 9 a.m. And the family time fitness will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 10. with a registration of $20 per month for both classes. The two new classes are educational opportunities for our community to build new skills. We have someone in our city who will be conducting the classes. She's a Bell Gardens resident, and she's a parent in the community. And so we're excited to have her joining us to lead these classes. She currently does it with other parents, other moms who want to work out. And she's very experienced and has led multiple programs involving early childhood education. So we're excited for our Family Time Fitness. It'll include group songs and playtime with the kids, not only fitness activities for the moms, but also opportunities for the parents to engage their children. So we're looking forward to our new classes and our new instructor. Next on our update is the Learning Center and our after-school recreation. So as you recall, we opened our Learning Center April 1st, and we did make an adjustment. We are opening earlier now, as we noticed a lot of children were arriving early anyway. They want to be set up and prepared before class starts. So our staff made that change to accommodate their schedule. So we're starting at 8. And during their breaks, they have physical activities and games, and we've been doing chalk art, and it's been really fun to see them. Just so excited to meet each other and to be around other children finally. At 1:30, we start our after-school recreation programming, which includes homework help, art, and other outdoor games. If anyone is still interested in participating, they can register online or at the Neighborhood Youth Center. And we continue to register participants. Currently, there are 40 registered participants. Again, it's open. School's almost over, but we're still hoping to gain more participants before the end of the school year. The Community Family Service Center has been working with our residents to apply for the new state rent relief program. And we continue to serve other residents in multiple capacities. Earlier today, a gentleman arrived who had an unemployment letter, and he wasn't sure how to reply, how to apply. And so we're not only doing rent relief, but we continue to serve with various consumer action, including things like unemployment. So it's good to see that our residents are taking advantage of these opportunities. The supper program continues at all 3 sites. Again, our supper program is from 3 to 4 p.m. and we distribute 400 meals per site, which is 1,200 meals per day. And in 54 weeks, we have served 323,700 supper meals. Yeah, if you've ever had the opportunity to come by at that time, it's a lot of the same faces we see. And some of the people take for their neighbors. So that's nice, that they know who needs and who can't come. And we're excited to see that program has been able to continue. Our family food distribution will be this Saturday here at Veterans Park. We have 500 boxes, including non-perishables and mixed goods for our Bell Gardens families. And we're also planning for another food distribution at Ford Park on Saturday, June 5th from 9 to 12. And that's with a partnership with the LA Food Bank. So if any of you are interested in volunteering that day, we are looking for volunteers. The LA Food Bank will not be providing any staff that day. So it'll be our department and community volunteers working on Saturday, June 5th.
Just let me add, there's food for 2,000 families on that day. So it's a major one. So we'll take whatever help we can get on that day. And because it is a Saturday, it's a lot easier sometimes to get volunteers, but we appreciate whatever assistance any of you might be able to help us with on that day.
Yes, the Superstar Volunteers. We have our Small Fry Soccer program began accepting registration through May 14th for the upcoming Small Fry Soccer season. Practices and league play will take place mid-May and end in July. And we'll have 2 divisions consisting of children ages 4 to 5 and 6 to 7. So that's registration is happening now for Small Fry Soccer. And our aquatics program update, I wanted to hand that over to Roseanne. And we do have some photos to share with all of you.
I believe Estrella sent you some drawings yesterday via the email. And as promised, I just kind of wanted to share what the vision is and what we're moving forward towards in the design process. We're well into the design process. In fact, we're getting ready for demolition, which hopefully will be sometime in June, July at the latest. So everything is moving accordingly. We're moving as quickly as we can. But I'm, happy to show you the pictures and see what the dream is and see what the vision is that's been developed by a lot of members of the community who participated in the community input meetings, as well as through surveys that took place and everything. And so it was really a great effort. And I think that the whole idea is to provide a facility that will accommodate all levels of swim, and will provide for, senior activities, children, and lessons. And I know that we're going to touch on the district partnership, but there's already in the works. We've had discussions with the principal from Bell Gardens High School about using their aquatic facility this summer. So we're really hopeful that that's something that's going to happen and that we can have an aquatic program this summer. Lessons in recreational swim. I'm hoping not to lose another summer of opportunity where, we want children to be water safe. And so they're falling behind. And so our efforts are being put towards that right now. Bell Gardens pool is and I was told is going to get a lot of construction work here in the next couple of years or year or so. And so their trade-off is they want to come and use our new facility once theirs is under construction. And it's absolutely a great opportunity for us to partner and work together. So I'm very optimistic. The fact that we had a vaccine clinic at the high school was baby steps in a cooperative effort. We're going back on May 25th to administer the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. And the principal was very, very pleased and, acknowledged that the work that our staff did, and it was seamless. And so I just saw it as a great opportunity to really expand the opportunity to work with the school district, work with the schools. It's all the same families, it's all the same children. So let's just work together and maximize our resources. So I'm very optimistic about that. I don't know if there was any questions about the aquatics program, but I think the facility is going to be awesome.
Thank you, Roseanne. And last is that we are happy to announce that senior outdoor activities resume this week. We had our first event today. It was a Mother's Day paint party held at the senior center in the patio area. And participants were asked to register, and they were required to wear a mask. And it seems like seniors were happy to be back. It was a small group. Again, for COVID safety, we had we limited to 16 participants. And they're looking forward to their next event. So that's nice. I did stop by. The event had just finished, but it was nice to be able to catch a quick video, and I got to see what the ladies were painting, and it seemed like everyone enjoyed themselves. I know Roseanne was there. I don't know if you wanted to share about the Mother's Day party or
So, besides the Mother's Day thing, I just kind of wanted to add that a lot of our focus going forward, because we've just dealt with a pandemic and COVID, is to encourage a better health, a healthier environment and a healthier lifestyle. So, part of the healthier lifestyle has to do with people's psyche. So it was nice to see the seniors interacting. And we know today the mandate was lifted about masks, but there's still a lot of questions how we operate. And so going forward, we'll have to get those questions answered. But again, seeing the seniors, discussing with the seniors, they're very excited about trying to come back, and we want to do everything we can. So we're taking the baby steps to make sure that everything's safe. We're also looking at placing a couple of outdoor tents to expand our outdoor programming at the center, so that if there is an opportunity to take a program from the inside to the outside, just as an added way of being safe, we're going to take whatever measures we can. So I'm very happy about that. And it was nice to see some smiles, even though they were covered, but you could see the smile in their eyes. So it was a pleasant experience. They were happy. They were laughing at each other's paintings. And so they were all engaged. And I just think that for seniors, because a lot of them have been so isolated, it was nice to see them interact and enjoy each other's company. So we're moving in the right direction. I just very proud of the staff. I think that's why we're making such a big effort in our vaccination clinics and in trying to encourage our neighbors. And the one thing with the feedback is that they feel comfortable coming to us to get vaccinated with us, because there's a sense of trust in our community. And so we've been I think yesterday we had about 450 people pre-registered, and then we are taking walk-ins every time. So there's people coming in here, sometimes begrudgingly, especially the kids. They're coming in, mom is pulling them in, but we're really proud of the fact that we are making this effort, and that they know once a week they could come and get their vaccine with us. And it's just a way of us trying to get ourselves back to normal too. So, please pass out the word. We try to get it out on social media as much as possible, and we appreciate any effort and every effort to get our community back in good health.
Thank you. Next is our KDI meeting update. Staff met with the KDI team to make site visits to both Val Gardens Veterans Park and the former senior center and the neighborhood youth center to identify facility improvements and make recommendations. Still to come will be community input to discuss the use of the former senior center as the new community family service center, an assessment of the facility to determine site improvements, repairs, and necessary configurations of the facility to accommodate delivery of services to families and individuals seeking human and social services. The KDI staff did reach out to a couple of us, and I did share a few names of community members that they might want to speak to, and I included our chairperson on that list. And so, Chairperson Sanchez, would you like to share your experience?
Yes, thank you so much for your feedback as well, commissioners. I was able to speak to one of the representatives at the organization and just kind of go over all of the things that, you guys brought up to my attention and that I had as well. And I think one of the things that they weren't really focusing on were the adults. They got a lot of feedback regarding our youth here in our city, but not really adults. They had very minimal information on what type of programs for the adults. So some of the things that we discussed was not only to have that space as a tutoring space for the residents, the youth residents in Bell Gardens, but also for the adults having, a place where they can do interviews, where they can do resume writing, where they can have different workshops, to gain different skills. Even some sort of trade, let's say, a lot of people have lost their jobs due to the pandemic. And so being able to get back on their feet by learning some sort of trade. And then we also discussed a test kitchen. So being able to have a test kitchen there for our residents, that we're seeing a lot of street vendors, selling things, and it's about being safe as well. So being able to use that test kitchen as far as, learning the safety of it and then continuing on with the street vending. So it was a great discussion that we had, and I did bring up all the ideas that you guys provided to me. So thank you so much for that. And they're continuing on in different phases right now.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the KDI update? Okay,
I just wanted to interject something real quick. When I came to Bell Gardens, I saw the former senior center as an opportunity to, that was being underutilized to provide these services. And so what we want to do is make it a center in hopes of making it a center where we can invite nonprofits to come and provide services there. And that's it would be a one-stop opportunity for families to get access, direct access, in a non-threatening environment where they feel comfortable coming to our staff, whether it's counseling, bereavement, job-related placement skills, just anything and everything that we can imagine as it relates to social services. And it's a great facility. It needs some work inside to be configured and to meet some ADA compliance standards, but there's a huge vision that can come with all of this. And so it's exciting to hear that the council is backing this project, and we're excited because I think that it'll be a great service to the community. They'll feel maybe more safe and in a non-threatening environment where they feel that there's learning opportunities and there's counseling opportunities, social opportunities, and it's just a way of improving the quality of life for our residents. And so I really am grateful to the council for allocating the funding to allow us to do this and for your participation. So when we do the community input, the commission as a whole, or commissioners as individual residents, I encourage all of you to participate and provide your individual feedback to the project. It will be of great value and service to us.
I have a question. In regards to this project, so I see like community engagement seems to be the next step. What's the timeline? Is the goal to have the facility set up by 2022, 2023? Like, what is the process for this group?
So we've kind of given them like about 6 months. We need to move quicker than later because we're kind of cramped inside the facility next door. Diana's offices are there. So we're hoping to have the community engagement here within the next 30 days. It's not taking that long. I pretty much approved a lot of the questions and things like that are going to be asked yesterday and today. So community engagement, it'll be happening here in the next 30 days. It's going to move quickly. They are also going to be coming out to the food distributions, the vaccine clinics. They're going to come out to the parks where we're holding our baseball programs, our soccer programs, so that they're really engaging with the families and they're going to the senior center where the people are that are using our programs and services. And then there'll be an online portal so that maybe if you're not at any of those particular sites, you'll still have an opportunity to participate. My thought on that too is I think the city just finished a a citywide survey. I don't know if any of you participated in that. There was an online and then there was a paper. And so at the next meeting, I'll have Anna share what those results are. I know it was communicated at the last council meeting, but we'll make sure that it's on here and that we'll provide you with the results. On both the paper survey and the online survey, I'm really happy to say that recreation and community services were in the top 5. We were on number 3 on both sides, if I remember correctly. And so it just kind of demonstrated that there is a need, there is a want, and there is a desire to make sure that we are providing quality recreation and community services. And that means educational programs too. And so we'll be utilizing the information that was gathered on that survey just to understand the priority, but then diving a deeper dive into specifics as far as needs. So within the next 30 days, you'll be invited to participate, whether it's virtually, whether it's in person or in writing, but it'll be in the next, it could even be 14 days, to be honest with you, but
Okay.
it's going to happen quickly.
They're also planning an engagement at the Neighborhood Youth Center. It'll be an art activity.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
thank you.
Any other updates, Anna?
Well, I have the scholarship update. The grads banner program, we are hanging the banner at City Hall congratulating this year's graduates. But there just wasn't adequate time this year to do recognition the way we had discussed, you know, for the graduating seniors. But we will hang a banner at City Hall congratulating all graduates. And in talking to Rosanna earlier, she mentioned there's work to be done to some of those existing poles. And I know there's a new public works director now, so that'll be something that we'll discuss with them. But I wanted to make sure you all knew that. The scholarship update.
I did put money in the budget for next fiscal year to do the banners. So there is a marker there to definitely do the program. And I will be, the new public works director starts on Monday. And her part of it is, you know, the money's there to add the poles. And then there's money there for the banners, but you know, we'll do like a sponsorship type of program. So there'll be money that will come in and go out, but there is money for next year's 2022 graduates.
That's great to hear. That was my next question, if we're trying to do it for next year. So thank you for that.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely.
And a follow-up to that, if we were to do it for the 2022 graduates, when would we start to plan for that? Would that be around maybe February to have a discussion with the agent, like, you know, the respective agencies or schools?
Yeah, it would. I would envision it starting right after the holidays, when the new semester, the start of the second semester starts, and people are starting to think about graduation. So there'll be like a period of time where parents are engaged, the schools are engaged, and then there's a registration process so that people can get pictures and we can get the information, because around that time, I believe, is when they get their acceptance letters too. So we want to have that information, which is, I believe, in March, if I remember correctly, where they get their acceptance letters. So we'll go to print and be able to post, you know, the grad information probably mid-April, because we'll have everything ready until they tell us, oh, the person is going to UCLA, or the person is going to Fullerton, or wherever they're going. So.
Okay, great.
For this,
Oh,
the
go-
scholarship. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's what I was gonna say, Anna. Go ahead, talk about scholarships.
Thank you. So thank you to all of you for your input. We did release our new guidelines for the Bell Gardens Scholars Program. This program will be for high school seniors, so we'll be awarding class of 2021 merit scholarships. I don't know if any of you saw our flyer online.
Yes, sweet.
And so the graduating seniors are encouraged to apply. We are requiring they answer 3 essay questions, provide a transcript, and provide proof of residency. The students will be evaluated by the city's education commission. So we'll need to discuss if any of you want to be raters. And the scholarships will consist of a $3,000 scholarship for first place, $2,000 for second place. Third place will be $1,000, and we'll have 10 honorable mention awards for $500 each. The commission will evaluate points based for community service and student participation. So we are asking them to share their school activities and any volunteer work they've done. And the applications are available online on the city website, or they can pick up hard copies at our office here at Veterans Park or Ford Park or City Hall. I did receive the first application yesterday, so that was exciting. And we'll need to have a discussion on how we can all be raters. I spoke with Chairperson Francis a few minutes before the meeting started to let her know we'll need to find out from all of you if you want to be raters, and we'll have to be creative on how we can share the essays. You know, we can maybe, I can email them to you and we can all rate them individually and come up with a scoring process that way. Does anybody have any
Okay.
questions?
Yeah, I do. Actually, emailing kind of works. That's how we've done it before in some of the spaces I'm in. And I don't know if you want to block out their names so we could, we'll talk about that later, I guess, once we get into it. But
Yeah, especially because you've done this, you
Yeah.
know, your input is encouraged. We can do that. We can block out their names. That's a great suggestion.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, email works. And I mean, we could definitely get into more details.
Oscar, would you mind maybe creating what the criteria is, you know, as far as maybe assisting us with the rating sheet and, you know, once we determine how many people want to rate, if all 4 of you want to rate, which is perfectly fine, maybe we take the top 3 for that particular individual and then just do an average. So, you know, and we'll take out the names, but if you can maybe assist us with whatever that criteria or whatever, like you mentioned about blocking out the names, is there any other piece of information we should block out? Is there, you know, that way we're being as transparent as possible and being as fair with everybody so that
Yep.
there's clear information that's being given to all the commissioners. That would be
Absolutely.
extremely helpful for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, no
Yeah.
worries.
Oscar did share some information before we developed the application. He did share some information with me, which was helpful to develop the criteria. But something like blocking out the names, you know, those little things we wouldn't have considered. So that's great.
Perfect. Yeah, we could work together on this, or as a commission, we'll take care of it. No worries.
Okay. So if all of you want to maybe notify Francis about your interest in rating, I can only assume that you would all want to. And I think it would be great. We did advertise that the commissioners would be our raters. But you can let her know individually if you're interested. And the deadline is May 28th, so it's coming quickly. And like I said, we have our first entry. So I'll be tracking those. And I can even have staff start, you know, delete or covering the names, so we can be prepared to go as quickly as the deadline comes.
And I know that the deadline is May 28th. Is there a date that was set already to announce the winners, or is that not determined yet?
So we are planning our our graduation ceremony to award the city staff who are graduating this year. And Roseanne had the idea that we would award the recipients at this ceremony.
What's the date for that?
It's in June. We don't have a hard date yet, right?
We don't have a hard date. I haven't, I don't have all the responses just yet from the council to make sure that they're in attendance. I'll get that firmed up probably by the end of the week, next
Okay.
week. And then we'll put it out there. But my best guess is that it'll be like the week of the 17th, after they've done their graduations at their respective schools, because we have high school and college graduates that are either employees or they're volunteers, like the explorers that we've want to acknowledge our staff that but we'll also incorporate the scholarship recipients and invite their parents. And last year it worked out very well. We started the program last year in response to the pandemic. We felt so bad that there weren't any graduation ceremonies. And we had, I think, about 12 staff that were, recreation leaders and explorers that had graduated from both high school and college. And we just felt that there needed to be some type of acknowledgement. And so this year we'll incorporate the scholars and move into that program. And then really going forward, I just wanted to share, I did put $50,000 into the budget for next year for the scholars program. So there'll be an opportunity to do some other programs, whether we want to sponsor like an essay contest in the middle of the year as an education commission. Those would be some things that we'll talk about as soon as the budget's approved, and then you can get creative and we can figure out what would be appropriate and how we could just disperse the money throughout the year. But there is a marker of $50,000 in scholarships for next year.
Okay. I just want to ensure that, the commission has ample time to review the essays and, do a fair job with making sure we read all of them and all that before the deadline to announce.
Yeah. We can even start reviewing them as they come in if we want to just get ahead of it.
I think it'd be best to wait till all the applications are in so that we can go ahead and sort them, right? As far as like, high school, grade levels, things like that, and then move forward from there. What do you guys think, Commission?
Yeah, I mean, like usually it would suit best to get all the all the applications together, and then from there as well. Like I'm used to reading 50 or over 100 on a weekend, which is a lot. I mean, what we could do, either we could split them up, we do them as a whole. I mean, we could get creative with this, but it's really doable.
Well, I hope we get that many.
I hope so too, actually.
Yeah, it's a nice dollar amount. I hope it encourages them to apply. But there's scholarships that are $100, $100, $50, everything helps.
Yeah.
But this is a nice first place. Even the honorable mention, it's a nice amount. So
Yeah.
I hope that we get a lot of entries.
So
Did you have? Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say. So I think I agree with you, Francis, to go ahead and go that route. And then if they're due on the 28th, and the week after or the following, we can all kind of get together and figure out how we break it up. And I think Oscar's right. It's based on what we're doing, right? And how we're going to approach it. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Right. Any other questions
regarding scholarship?
I just want to add, I also agree that we should wait till all the deadline for the submissions to be collected, for all the applicants to submit their applications and get them collected before we start reviewing them as a whole. And I also agree with Oscar with redacting their names preferably, because we want this to be an open, competitive application process. We don't want any biases associated with any one name that we see. So I think by redacting at the minimum, their name, that would be great.
And address.
Name and address. Yeah.
any identifiable information that would be on there that you can relate to an individual, we'll just take that portion off, their name, their address, phone number, email, or anything like that.
Right.
And then maybe what we'll do is just assign a number to it, corresponding number. So applicant number 1, 2, 5, 6, all the way down. And then you can we'll provide a scoring sheet where you can maybe comment or add your scores. And then at the end, we can, add up the scores because, somebody might be harder than the other. And then we can come up with an average of whatever came up with that. But, we'll talk, Oscar, and make sure that we're not missing anything and that we're doing this as transparent and as fair as possible to make sure that everybody's, happy with the process.
Perfect.
And Oscar, if you want to bounce some ideas around on the criteria for the rubric to run it through, let me know. I'm open as well. Via email works
Awesome.
as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Anything else regarding scholarship before we move on? Okay, we'll move on to the district partnership letter. I know that you guys already started a partnership, especially at Bel Air High School. Was the letter actually sent out? And then was there any response?
So the letter and the request, we actually, I had a discussion with the city manager. It was transferred to the council. The council is then going to make the request and try to elevate it to the district level, as well as their counterparts. And so there is a lot of things that are moving right now, and I'm hopeful. I did submit some copies of other joint powers agreements, so there are some movement in that, and we'll, I think, have a more positive, not positive, but a more thorough response at our next commission meeting.
Wonderful, thank you. Anything else regarding the letter that anybody wants to discuss? Okay, we'll move on to public participation. Do we have anybody?
No comments from anyone.
Okay. Comments from the commission at this time?
So I can start.
I just really like to. Oh,
Sorry,
go
go ahead, Christina. Go ahead.
I just really want to commend the Parks and Recs and city staff for all the work they've done to acquire all these partnerships that they've acquired to provide vaccinations for COVID to our residents. I think that's great. And then getting our youth vaccinated because we all know they will be going to school soon. So we want them to be protected before they schools open back up. So I'm really happy to hear about that. And the continued work you guys continue to do with all the supper meals that you're providing to residents. That's awesome. And then I'm really happy to hear about the funding that's been earmarked for next year's scholarships, as well as the funding that's been allocated towards the Banner program. I think that is really going to be great and something residents in the city will be proud to see their children's banners when they get hung throughout the city. So that's just great. Let me see. And I'm also happy to hear about the new recreation classes that you guys got started. You know, a lot of people have just been at home, so I'm happy to hear you have some programs for families to get out and get their kids engaged and active and away from their electronics. So that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead next. So basically, I'm just going to echo everything Christina said. I do want to focus on the vaccine. That's game changer. To me, working in healthcare, I've always felt taking a local approach on this, and we're doing it. So thank you, Roseanne and team, for doing an amazing job on that. I was actually on a call a few days ago with the department director of public health for the state of California. And we actually had a conversation regarding a local approach. So once again, thank you for that. It's amazing. Also, the other game changer part you mentioned is nonprofits, bring them into the senior center. I mean, especially right now, these services are needed in this community. And not only that, these nonprofits actually need to do something as well, because, you know, a lot of them it's been challenging for a lot of nonprofits. If they could actually start participating, that would be amazing. So thank you once again for doing that. And maybe we could actually leverage too, working with different organizations within big corporations with their community health departments, and maybe we could leverage partnerships with them as well. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously, you know, both the commissioners have said a good amount, and I also want to echo the KDI relationship, because it's really looking at the focus on adult support and human social services. I think the other aspect is I'm very excited about the support that we're giving to the local students in the area, either with financial support through a scholarship. I think that's crucial, especially, you know, coming from the city and being supported from the commission. And I definitely look forward to the college banner program for the class of 2022. I think those are some of the small things that we can continue to do as a commission to support. And the district partnership letter, I hope it's just one other step that's going to continue this ongoing, constant City of Bell Gardens next level of education. And so I'm really excited about those things. Kudos to everyone that had a hand in it, and thank you, Madam Chairperson, as well.
Thank you for all your input, commissioners, as well. I think I'm just really excited to hear all the programs happening in our city. I think at times we don't get to highlight those things. You know, our cities compared to a lot of other surrounding cities around us, thinking that they're better, they have better programs, so on and so forth. But I think that Bell Gardens is really shining right now, and I think that our residents just need to take advantage of all these wonderful opportunities that the city's providing for them. I also want to thank you, Roseanne and Anna, for all your commitment, and I'm looking forward to volunteering June 5th and seeing all the families. So definitely sign me up, and I want to be there to help them. So thank you. Any other comments? Okay. So
If I may, Chair, at the next meeting, I'd like to present what our summer offerings are going to be. You know, that way you have a full roster of all the different activities staff is working on right now. We have summer concerts happening. We're going to have summer movies happening. We're going to have block parties at the small parks. We also have more recreational classes. It's just the staff is working hard right now to bring people on board. Our youth soccer programs, just a full-blown array of programs that will be offered here. Summer day camp, a STEAM curriculum, which is the science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Lego robotics is coming to Bell Gardens. So all of those things, I'd like to have an opportunity at the next meeting to kind of highlight what programs and services will be happening for the summer. Right now, there's still a lot of moving parts. And so I'd like to give you a little bit more of a comprehensive look at what's going to happen this summer. And so I'm really proud of the staff and how hard they're working and trying to get everything done and prepared, and staying up to speed with all of the new protocols and changes. But again, you know, I'll look forward to that opportunity to share that information at the next meeting.
I'm so excited to hear some of the things that you just mentioned already. I think our city needs that, and the fact that it's going to be implemented this summer. It looks like a fun summer for the city of Bell Gardens. So thank you. Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting, please?
I'll motion to end the meeting at
Thank you.
5:53 p.m.
Awesome, thank you. So meeting adjourned at 5:53. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Anna.
Oh, yes. I was about
I
to
have a
leave.
quick-